Today we're going to look at how you can develop your answers further, okay, and think about how you're going to structure your answers more effectively going forward when it comes to extended writing, and you're going to be thinking about how you can build a logical argument, and this will put you in a position then to achieve higher marks when it comes to doing your exams. Now, one of the common problems that we have with students in our school is that students revise hard, they know all the content, and they know all the information that they want to talk about, but for some reason when it comes to the exams they don't get those A's and B's, those high grades that they think they deserve because they've revised. Now, one of the reasons for that is because they don't structure their answers effectively enough, they don't give the examiners what they want to see. So you need to start thinking about how you're writing and thinking along the lines of what is it that the examiner needs to see in order for me to get as many marks as I possibly can. That will then look at how you structure your answers in a more successful way. Now, one of the issues we have here at Uxbridge High School is the fact that students tend to, even though they can write a paragraph and they know all the information, it doesn't guarantee that they're going to get their answers to a very high level because they don't develop them enough, they don't structure them accordingly, and because of that then they often find that the quality of the work will rarely get them out of a level 2. And then they'll just go off, even though they've wrote a paragraph, they think they've done really well, and they go off and do another point, and when the examiner marks it, then they'll be marked down. Now, what you need to start thinking about is looking at mark schemes, looking how you can improve the quality of your writing so that you can develop your answers well enough to get you out of that level 2 and into the level 3, which will enable you to get more marks. And if you look at here some examples of mark schemes, okay, the difference between a level 2, which is 4 and 7 marks out of 10, and a level 3, which is 8 to 10 marks out of 10, alright, level 2 has some development of examples, and level 3 has good development, alright. And again, a different mark scheme from a different subject, similar thing, level 1, 2, 3, looks at level 3 where your answer is well developed, okay, if you look here, and look at level 2, which is just developed, alright. So you need to think about how you are writing your answers and how you are developing them, and I'm going to show you a very simple way to do that. So there's a technique that you need to be aware of, and we use it quite well in the school with the students, and it's the meal technique. So you kind of M is for you make your point, alright, and then you explain it, okay, and then after you've explained it you need to talk about what effect, what are the causes, what is the impact it's going to have. Alright, and then the L then is you link it to the context of your subject, okay? Every subject is different, so you'll be able to relate your answers to that in your own way. Now, looking at levels, okay, let's put that up on the screen here for you. If you just make a point, okay, and you just give a basic bit of knowledge understanding, you'll probably get a level 1 mark out of 10. And if you explain it in a small bit of detail, alright, so you develop it, some development, okay, it'll put you into the level 2 bracket. And then if you then to get into level 3, you need to talk about the causes and effects, so develop your answers further, okay? So that same point you started on, a few sentences above, how can you develop that further? So, connectives are the key to helping you do that, and in your paragraph, I'm going to give you a very simple way to help you structure your answers in a much more sensible manner, okay? So obviously you'll start off your point in your paragraph, and there's some examples here where you'll have to talk about one benefit or a problem or a reason, whatever it is. You're going to start off your paragraph in the normal way. That you then need to develop it a bit further, okay, and use this is because or this means that, and then that will enable you to kind of develop it and maybe put you into a level 2, so develop that same point in a bit more detail, and then to kind of really get to some good elements of development here in the point, you need to talk about how you use these connectives to talk about the effect. So as a result, therefore, this will lead to, thus resulting in, leading to, this would cause, all very powerful connectives you can use in any subject, especially for extended writing, okay? I cannot stress how important these are, and you should be looking to use 4 or 5 of these in a paragraph, in the same paragraph, based on the same point. Alright, I'm going to give you an example here. So here is a car that I drive to school in. So explain or analyse what will happen to Mr. Karras if he has a flat tyre at 8:30 on a Monday morning. So I'm going to make a point. So Mr. Karras could be late to work. I'm going to explain it a small bit further by saying this is because it is 8:30 in the morning and he will not be able to replace it in time before school starts. Now, how can you develop this further again? Okay, same point. So as a result of this, he will miss his morning registration at 8:40. Okay, let's keep going. Therefore, the students would not be marked in on Sims. This will lead to the school's attendance officer flagging it up and the system and contacting home as to why the students were not in school, and this would cause the parents to get worried or upset, resulting in a very worrying phone call to their child to see where they are. Now, do you see how I started off that one point up there where I started off with I'll be late to work, and I've developed it. It's the exact same point, but my answer is very well developed. And all I've used is sentence starters and connectives, and the rest of the information then just falls into place. And this is what you need to do as much as you possibly can, okay, especially when it comes to extended writing, because that will help you to make sure your answers are structured in a much more efficient way.